Apocalyptic literature can be a challenge to read, for it's a genre that might be unfamiliar to us. I think this is one reason people either shy away from reading the books of Daniel or Revelation, or come up with some really wonky interpretations of the text. For that reason, I'd like to give you some hints before you dive into this type of literature. Apocalyptic literature is a standard literary form that the readers in the biblical world would have recognized. The word apocalypse means to reveal or to uncover knowledge that was previously hidden. Apocalyptic literature in the Bible includes the books of Daniel, parts of Ezekiel, and Revelation. The pseudepigraphal books, 4th Ezra, 1st and 2nd Enoch, 2nd and 3rd Baruch, and the Apocalypse of Abraham are also apocalyptic books. Apocalyptic works were often written at a time when a people was occupied by a foreign oppressor. Daniel was set in the time of the Babylonian exile and likely written during the Greek oppression under Antiochus Epiphanes in the 170s BC. Revelation was written in the latter half of the 1st century AD when persecution under Rome was increasing. In these settings, the goal of this writing was to call people to trust that God would soon intervene, destroy their oppressors, and deliver them. The key word in apocalyptic literature is trust. Now, in contrast, prophetic literature is concerned with the nation's sins and breaking the covenant with God. The prophets issued a call for the nation to repent and turn back to Yahweh, thus averting punishment. The key word in prophetic literature is repent. Since apocalyptic literature flourishes during times of oppression, it uses its language, images, symbols, and a shared history that are familiar to the community but alien to their enemies. This is one reason it is very important to understand the history of the original audience and place the text in the context of their times. There are several characteristics of this genre of literature that help us as we read it. The focus of the narrative is on the end times. Apocalyptic literature argues that the present time is irretrievably evil and has a pessimistic worldview. It emphasizes the wickedness of humanity, but also the promise of restoration and salvation. It believes that there is a realm beyond the one which we can see that is revealed when the curtain is drawn back. The view is cosmic, that the whole universe is involved in what is happening, and that what takes place on earth is determined by what happens in the heavenly sphere. Another feature of this literature is the use of visions or dreams to gain the attention of the audience and to establish the speaker's authority. This literary form uses stylized cycles of dreams or visions to uncover hidden truths that are meant to bring the reader insight into history. History is often retold in order to remind the reader that God controls history on behalf of his people. Angels are often involved in bringing the message to the people, and demons act as a counterpoint to the angels. Numerology is also a prominent feature, and the numbers 3, 4, 7, 12, and 70 are frequently used. Numbers often mean more than a simple quantity of items. Symbolism is used freely and is often bizarre in order to make an impression. The symbolism is based on patterns we find in the Bible. For instance, in the creation story in Genesis 1, the sea is a place of chaos, while the land is a place of order. The chaos represented by the sea is the model for how the sea is understood as a source of turmoil throughout the Bible, from the flood at the time of Noah to the emergence of the wild beast from the seas in the books of Daniel and Revelation. As we approach apocalyptic literature, like we do any other biblical literature, we must focus on the theological message and be very humble in thinking we can predict the future. One reason the writer uses cryptic symbols is to keep the reader from focusing on future events. The writer wants to turn their reader's attention toward God. Apocalyptic literature argues that our reality can be understood as consisting of cosmic catastrophes, which end in sin and anarchy here on earth until there is divine intervention. This intervention includes judgment linked to retribution, the punishment of the wicked, and salvation for the faithful. The responsibility to punish the wicked and save the faithful is God's responsibility because humans cannot improve the situation. Only God can. The message of apocalyptic literature is that the victory of the wicked is only temporary and God's victory is assured. So remain faithful to God and trust in Him, His plans, and His timing. Apocalyptic literature is meant to give us a heavenly perspective on our earthly condition, to both challenge and comfort us. God is in control, and we can trust His promises are true. I hope this helps calm any concerns or fears about reading apocalyptic literature. This literature is challenging to read, but as all the Bible does, points to the good news of Jesus Christ. Happy reading!